on top of what you both said, I'm just wondering, does Keir Starmer realise that there isn't a central command in Iran at the moment? Who exactly is he going to negotiate with? They're acting in parallel units. So for negotiating with another country, you need some sort of like central figure or central body. That central command is now missing. And also, I'm not against negotiating settlements per se. I think you need to negotiate settlements, but I'm looking at Keir Starmer's track record. I mean, look, we've had Craig and Lindsay Foreman, the British couple who were arrested in Iran about a year ago, and they've now been sentenced to 10 years in jail. What exactly did Keir Starmer negotiate for them? Or the Tehran regime has opened numerous outlets in the UK to project its soft power and to peddle its influence in the UK. The British government hasn't even been able to reopen the British Council or the Iranian state TV outlets. There are numerous Iranian state TV outlets throughout London and UK. The British government hasn't been able to reopen the BBC office in Tehran. So, you know, looking at his track record, would you trust him to reach a negotiated settlement? I wouldn't.
Well, the big question, of course, is what comes next. We assume that Israel and the United States will be successful in dismantling an enormous part of the Iranian military capacity. But there doesn't seem to be any sign that the regime is falling apart. There might not be a central command, but certainly they're still managing to keep the regime intact. What do the Iranian people want to come next? Is there anybody waiting in the wings? Is there a kind of less hardline version of the Ayatollah that could take over?
There's definitely less hardline versions, and there are several contenders for this. But to answer your questions, one thing I can say with certainty, the vast majority of the Iranian people want nothing other than regime change in Iran. Look, before the massacre in January, even the people that I knew in Iran who were vehemently against foreign intervention, against the military attack, even they started saying, look, there's nothing else that can be done. We cannot match the brutality of this regime. We don't have the power to take on the regime. We need foreign help. So that I can say with certainty, the vast majority of the Iranian people want nothing but regime change. And at the moment, until now, as far as I know, they're still happy with the military intervention to continue.
But who might be coming in to lead that regime change? All the reports coming out of Iran right now suggests that no rival group has stood up. We're hearing so much from the United States, from their chest-thumping defence secretary about how much military hardware they're destroying, but nothing about who might step forward. Trump says he has going to play a big part in picking who's next, but no one stood up to say, maybe it can be me.
I think we have to wait for the people in Iran to decide that moment, to decide that, right, this is now the right moment. Now we can take on what is left of the regime. We're in a position this time to win over. And then an alternative will emerge. And that will emerge from inside Iran, I think.